Okay, I'm gonna use candles up.
Perfect.
So, disclaimer is that I don't fortune tell. So at all. So
No.
I mean, if something comes out in the cards that happens to indicate something that will tell you very direct advice for your future or a warning for your future, one, there's something to know, which is we are always co-creating our own life. So anything that comes out that you don't like, you can change, and anything that comes out that you like, you can manifest discipline to continue. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not going to tell you, yes, this is true for your future or not, because everything is so much more fluid than that. But I'm not going to say that stuff like that can't come out. I am just not particular. I don't feel gifted with the power of prophecy like that. I am more of I think God tells me which deck to use to get you the message that God's going to send you, and I'm going to be the one that helps deliver it. With that in mind, I need help from you to pick deck by telling me what it is that you want to talk about in this reading today. Keep in mind, we do want to also make sure that we're framing the question for anybody who may watch this so that their will come through as well.
So kind of a little background maybe that might be helpful is like, I really feel like I am beginning in my spiritual journey right now. I just kind of have, you know, come to a place in my own personal healing, psychologically, in coming from kind of a dogmatic, religious background, and finally having placed myself, not aside from it, but like I've separated myself from it. I'm starting to disentangle myself from kind of the ways that I learned. And so in that being said, I've gone from, you know, having not a lot of belief in anything to kind of now dappling in that idea of like, there is something, and I'm interested in what that is, and beyond my traditional sense of spirituality in itself. So in the beginning of my journey, I'm looking almost for guidance in what direction and like where I should be putting my energy in a way that will be the most fruitful, and that I'll be able to get the most growth isn't the right word, but like really what it is that I need, because I'm having a hard time figuring out what it is that I need.
Okay. The question always boils down to the same thing. Do you want to know what my general all the time question really comes down to? I don't even
Yes, always.
What do I need to focus on in order to take the next right step?
That's it. Yep. That feels exactly correct. Yep.
What do I need to focus on in order to take the right next step? I don't know if we're going to even bring tarot into this reading today.
Okay.
Oracle cards and everything you just said is going to be enough to guide all the messages out of these. Gotta
so exciting. Always. I just finished my first cup of black tea.
Equal parts water, coffee is my bloodstream.
Excellent.
Okay. Let me put these down. So, the first deck we're going to use is the Divine Feather Messenger, because they're direct messages from spirit that are always uplifting, and they're based in nature. They're really beautiful because the backs of the cards are all the different feathers of the type of bird that's on the card. I really like that. So, and the messages are always very clear to me. So that's where we're going to start. Since it seems like you're really looking for guidance. Also, your question sounds kind of like, okay, I believe there's something there. How can I fine-tune my understanding of that so I can harness that belief? That might be projecting, but that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, and I feel like it's very much that sense of like, it's always been told to me and it's never come from within. And so I'm looking to very much begin that journey from a within standpoint, and from a personal power of I've made this choice and I know this to be right because I did the research and the studies, and I feel the feelings that I'm supposed to. And so I know that this is right, as opposed to here is what the truth is, and here is what you feel to know that it is right.
Owl, your intuition is correct. Follow your inner wisdom without fail.
Can't make that stuff up, my dude.
I really can't. I mean, it's funny. Kingfisher, prosperity is flowing. Have faith that you will receive it in the perfect form. So the message that I'm getting from that is kind of like, now that you know what you're looking for, it's just going to come how it's supposed to. Like that block is gone. I'm going to see if there's any more messages in this one. Those two are pretty clear.
Yeah, right.
Hummingbird, release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joy is on the way.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, right. Exactly.
And osprey, which I'm so into this right now. Did I tell you about the osprey feather?
No.
Zach he was walking right after, he started getting into this thing of walking the dog at our house in the evening.
Cool.
He takes it on his own little, and they go on he's figuring out the neighborhood. The other day, he took the dog on a walk and he found an osprey feather. And when he brought it home, we actually got this card deck out to see if we could find a match for the feather. Now, it's not a identical card. I'm going to get it. I'm going to show you.
Yes, I would love to see it.
Now, it's not identical, but we looked up what the varietals can look like of their feathers.
Yeah.
And so,
wow.
If you look at one of the charts, this is like a really brand new bright feather, and this is like a more mature feather that fell out when it was flying or something, right? So it's not so dark and stuff, but this is on the pattern. It has the same little floofies here or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love that.
I found this near our house. Feathers like this, which means I need to get this other deck out. Every time I see this, I get this other deck out because...
Oh, wow.
And that particular feather card in this is an offering, which is just a message that says yes. Whatever you're looking for, if you're asking spirit, universe, God, whatever, if you're asking for a clear signal of affirmation, so anyway, I can't help but connect that feather with this card.
Of course, yeah.
It's all connected to me now. Osprey, your success is now at hand. Allow the abundance to flow to you effortlessly. And I believe that you're asking about spiritual abundance, and that's what it's talking about here.
Yeah.
Like your professional life is not involved in this question. So, I mean, maybe it is. I really can't say for you whether it is or not.
Right.
But what I'm saying is people think about abundance and success as monetary
and like material,
right? And I don't believe that your spiritual journey and your job may very well be connected, and that's awesome, but your success is now at hand. Allow the abundance to flow to you effortlessly. And that's the point of the feather offering, is that it's an effortless yes. It's like you've done the work, you are doing the work, you've already committed to the work. So you don't have to expect an increase in difficulty because the difficulty is already here.
Yeah.
So, but also in that pregnant difficulty of sorting through this part of your journey is also already all the answers.
Yeah.
Right? You're not separate from them. It's just like the box full of puzzle pieces, but the puzzle hasn't been put together.
Right.
They're all there. It's a brand new puzzle.
That offering very much feels to me as like a sense of like, for me, very internally, it feels like the permission to tell myself yes, because I know that I very much am like my own worst enemy a lot of the time. And like I second guess myself and I let my own, all the things that I have to deal with, get in the way. And a lot of it is fear and like, and I think when I, telling myself yes, or letting the universe tell me yes, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of power in that itself.
Yeah. Letting the universe tell you yes. I love that. I think that's key because our greatest good already exists.
Yeah.
It exists from the moment we do, before and after, all through and beyond. So aligning with the highest us that already exists, like that's where joy, abundance, anything. The bottom of the deck energy from this was duck. Find comfort and balance in simple ways. You have support all around you. All right.
It makes my Taurus heart really happy. Like,
Oh, you're so sweet, Taurus heart. Okay. Now that's great. We've been affirmed, but now we need some practical advice.
yeah.
So I'm going to put a couple of decks out. I'm going to just go ahead and get them all the way out because I know I'm going to use them. And then I'm going to put some crystals on them. And I'm going to let you pick which deck I go to next based on what crystal resonates with you.
Okay.
I'm learning stuff on the internet all the time.
That's so cool. I know. I was just like doing a little bit of research on crystals. I think I'm going to go for an obsidian. It's supposed to be good for the root. I'm like, oh, that's exciting. Is that your obsidian?
I have obsidian. What is this one called? I can't even remember. I don't have a great memory for details like that. It was horrible for me in biology and geography. Those classes just played me.
I'm sure.
Like, I don't have the attention span for this, man. I just don't care enough, man. Okay, but yeah. If you're ready to do the work, we'll talk about this more later when I can research and send you a few links. But okay, here's your choices. This is a Sunstone.
Okay.
I don't know what it's good for. I don't remember. Something good for your like overall feeling, body feeling.
Mm.
This is a pink quartz, which is a relationships and healing stone.
Okay.
It doesn't look very pink on the video, but it's slightly pinkier.
Yeah.
I had two. I had a much pinker one, and I gave it to my sister.
Nice.
And there's this amethyst geode.
Mm.
So
that one's calling to me more out of the three.
Yeah, out of the three, that one?
The amethyst, yeah.
I knew you were going to say that. Let me move these other decks.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
I'm going to let these charge, and I'm going to put this purple one on top of them, too. And, like, let them...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These are the self-care oracle.
That's so exciting. Oh, my gosh.
So it sounds to me like self-care is going to be something you should deeply invest your energy into for this phase, because honestly, you know how when you start a new exercise regimen and you're really worn out and like out of breath really fast and you're out of shape and like whatever because you're brand new? That's how spiritual work feels at the beginning. So don't be disheartened by the difficulty because you're out of shape for it. Mm-hmm. Just that's when you lean into self-care, right? And I hope is it okay that I'm using a bunch of you language?
Yeah, totally. No, I'm totally cool with that.
All right. Like I can totally, if that starts feeling like pointed, let me know, please. That's not the energy I want to put out at all.
Thank you.
But like, it's really, really, really hard to stay committed to taking care of yourself. Mm-hmm. Because responsibilities get in the way, but also like sometimes we don't like ourselves. And how do you want to take care of something you don't like, someone you don't like? I watched this really creepy movie yesterday called Vivarium. We like rented it on the internet to watch it, and it was like about these people get stuck in this really disorienting like Groundhog Day hell of no other people except for this like really weird, annoying child demon they have to raise against their will. And
the worst.
And yeah, it was like, that's how I feel about myself sometimes though. I'm like, why won't you go away in there? Like, why won't the parts of me that make these stupid decisions, that say those stupid things, and that self-deprecating stuff is not good.
Right.
What comes out is what's within, biblically speaking, that talks about that is like, and people are making it about the F word. Like, fuck that. Who cares?
Yeah.
The F word. What we're talking about is projecting the filth about and on other people that we truly feel about ourselves.
Yeah.
And once we recognize that we've been created, however that measures up to whoever I'm talking to, something made us exist.
Right.
Whether you name it or it's science or whatever, it doesn't matter. At first we didn't, and now we do. And whatever you want to call that process, evolution, whatever, I don't care. No single it's not an accident that it happened.
Right.
Whether there's terrible things that happen afterward, everything has equal and opposite reactions, right? That's how energy works. That's how this works, right? But once we recognize that we're actually made not by accident and just as worthy as everyone else, two things can occur. One, we can realize, wow, shit, I'm worthy. Just how I am. And yeah, I'm in process, but I'm working on it. Like, that's good enough. That's perfect.
Right.
Just as it is. And then once that happens and we believe it's true and we believe that energy of love, whether we call it love or whatever, that energy that makes us recognize our own worthiness, if it's true for me, it must be true for everyone, even the people I stand. And therein lies some very uncomfortable, lifelong, dedicated, motivated work.
Totally.
I mean, I'll let you know if I ever arrive at done.
Yeah.
But
please do.
I have not met anyone in person that has made that claim.
Yeah. No.
So I look forward to nirvana, whether I live this life a million times until it happens, or I die once and I get there, or whatever other nothing happens and I don't care. That could be nirvana, right? Absolutely lack of caring.
I'm so into that.
That's like the millennial dream come true.
I don't have to give a shit. I'm so into it.
Cool. Number 24, flow like water. And flow, do you know what flow state is?
I don't.
Okay, cool. Flow state is when you finally get there in your concentration for what you're doing, and you enter into that state where you and the creation, whether it's a paper, a piece of art, repotting plants one after the other, cleaning your house, journaling, meditative extremely, that place in a run where your brain forgets that your body's uncomfortable with it, like all those things, breaking into that is flow state. Now you're with the energy that's making this co-creative process possible.
Would you say it's like when you stop like fighting against yourself and you start like experiencing things as they are? Okay. That's how I very much interpreted that. Like what you said is very much just like things are the way that they are, right? Running is hard. All of those things suck. But like when you just but it's also good for you simultaneously. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I love her tattoo. I have a tattoo right there. It looks very similar.
Wow. Maybe that's a sign for you. That's a signal.
Yeah. Right.
To really pay attention to what you're getting out of this message. And like, look, all these corals aren't planted in anything. Everything's just like, if you look at the way the water, I mean, we think it's water, right? Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it also looks like there's wind, and it also looks like the it's hard to just determine what element is, but everything is, while it's kind of all afloat, it's all perfectly working together and next to each other, adjacently, all the parallel, perpendicular, everything is just kind of clicked into place and allowing and receiving. Because sometimes it's about receiving, whether it's messages, gifts, guidance, rest, whatever, just like being in a state of receiving, like when you need to receive instead of give, or finding a wonderful flowing balance between those two things. But anyway, that's a self-care message if I ever heard one.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's see if anything. All right, Katelynn. There's 4 cards here. Do you want me to stick them back in and see if we go with one, or should we look at all 4 of these?
Let's look at 4. Let's do all 4.
All right.
It looked perfect.
Friend is now on the bottom of the deck. So that sounds good.
Yeah, I love that.
Do that. Number 23, family. And I got married at 23, and you just made a new family.
I did. And we got married on the 24th. Real close, but that's so sweet.
There's some focus for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like, okay, ooh, I just got to download for you. You have already been listening to your intuition. It was your intuition that told you to leave the dogma. It was your intuition that told you that you needed space. It's like a breakup. People don't become friends right after they break up if they're going to be. It takes a little while.
Right.
To like go assert individuality in the world and then come back together as whole people, individuals.
Yeah.
If a friendship is ever to occur. So that's kind of what you have to do with your spiritual side. Like you take a break. Because you're like, look, you have a lot of baggage, spiritual side. And I'm not trying to approach the universe this way anymore. So it's almost like you let your spiritual side go get her shit together. While you got your professional life in order, got married, got moved, got all those things right. I'm trying to be vague. I hope details are too many. Yeah. So I'm just saying, maybe focusing in, like understanding that you have been listening to your intuition, your connection with you. And may I use the word God? Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very comfortable for me. So, so God's like, okay, dude, good job. You listened to everything I told you to get out of that situation. I had to bring you up in so that you would understand what you came from, so that you could become what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm always telling one of my spiritual mentors told me, have you ever heard of Amor Fati? And I was like, no, what is that? And sorry, my mouth's getting dry. The basic idea, you should Google it. There's a lot more details than this. Basic idea is that you love your fate, Amor Fati. So you love the things that happened to you because they made you who you are now. And like if you truly love and appreciate who you are now, you can't truly hate. I mean, there's things that have happened in my life that I hate that happened to me. Right. But I'm willing to tell. I remember crying sometime earlier in 2020 because who wasn't?
Gross.
Back, I said, I love the life that I have now, but I hate some of the stuff I had to go through to get here. And that's true.
Yeah.
But I still appreciate that it did get me here. So that's all. That was a lot from what coming out.
I feel like it's the word that came to me is like grateful. Like it's great. Like I'm grateful that I made it through that horrible time that I hated, and I can continue to hate it while still reaping the benefits of it happening. Like I hate working out, but like being strong is awesome. You know what I mean?
Okay. You ready for some call out culture?
I'm so ready.
Remember, you just made a family in 2020. So focus on number 40, pleasure.
Okay.
Number 35, meditate. There's some affirmation for you. You just started that. And it's feeling good, isn't it? Look at this. Isn't
it's feeling so good. It feels really good.
This is a picture of you meditating right there. Barefoot, crystal, sitting on a flower outside. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's perfect.
Ooh, when the fall gets here. Okay. Take a walk. So there's a lot going on in this. So let's take a second here. This is number 52. Take a walk. There's these birds soaring. There's mountains. There's clouds. There's river. There's a tear that shows the universe. There's this person on the path. Look at all these different perspectives. In one perspective, it's a speck in the universe, what's happening in this picture. From another perspective, it's a mountainscape where birds are flying overhead. From another perspective, it's just focused on this one person taking a walk. And all of these things are happening at the same time. Okay? The universal effects, the nature effects, and the individual humans effects are all happening simultaneously, and they're all an important individual microscopic sand-like glint of the fabric of humanity, universe, time, all that. This individual person is just as cataclysmic as these birds, is just as cataclysmic as the expanse of the
Right.
uncharted universe. So, and also kind of like reminds me of a golf course a little bit. So some
It
fat,
does.
like polo wearing person, God bless them. They are just as important and influential in this world as I am, as you are, as we are. So I get just a lot of affirmation from these cards that you focus on everything that you've already listened to the universe and God tell you is your focus. All the things that are making you feel whole and loved and valued and valuable, and all the things that at the end of the day, when you put your head on your pillow, you say, I don't regret taking the time to do that thing. And alternatively, if you find yourself getting to bed with a lot of regrets about what you didn't take the time to do or what you misspent your time on, maybe track that a little bit and see, so that you can make some measurements. I watched a great, like 5 minutes of a great video. I just didn't have time to finish it, but I got the gist, which was, instead of doing time management, we should be doing energy management.
I love that. That makes way more sense to me.
Then you don't punish yourself at the end of the day for not getting through this infinite list of things that you'll never have everything ever that you needed to do done. Ever.
Right.
But if you pick like the most 3 or 4 important things, and then you measure what else you do based on your energetic levels. And in therapy, they call this spoons theory. Like, do you have enough spoons for that? They're kind of related to each other. So that would be another thing to Google. But just managing energy to stay invested in the things that are important to you, because God made you to enjoy those things on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, that's the cloth you're cut from. So the places where you feel seamless with the cloth of life, that's where you were designed to be. And so when you don't feel that way, I mean, sometimes we have to go through uncomfortable situations.
Right.
It doesn't mean we have to stay in them. You know?
Right.
It's all just about listening to intention. Okay.
The Sunstone, I think.
This deck is called Love and Magic.
I really like the script. It's cute.
Yeah, it is cute. My mentor, spiritual person, I gave her a paid reading and asked her, instead of paying me, to pick a deck and send it to me. And she actually sent me 2, which is really cute. A tarot.
Oh, I love that.
Because I love reading both the tarot and the oracle. But tarot, tarot's just more work for me. That's the difference. It's like, because I don't know all the meanings yet. I've been studying it, but there's very specific meanings that go with some of those symbols.
Right.
And there's very specific meanings with that card being upside down instead of right side up. And so I still have to do a lot of looking up. If I'm doing a full-on tarot spread. That's why I only incorporate them a little bit. Because I know enough to reinforce the messages, but I don't know enough to bring a whole reading without looking.
That makes a lot of sense. I didn't know what the difference was between that. So that's really important to know.
All oracle decks have their own themes, and their creators make the art, and they're all just very different. But tarot decks all specifically have, I think it's 78, which involves 21 or 2 major arcana cards, starting with the Fool's Journey. And so it's all the Fool, and it goes through the Fool's Journey and Judgment, the Lovers, the Chariot, big archetypal messages. And then there's all of the suits, which is Wands, Pentacles, Swords, and Cups. And so Cups is emotions, give or take. Swords is mental space. Wands is movement. And Pentacles is earthy and money. And so I know stuff about them.
Yeah.
I know the difference between a page and a knight, that kind of stuff. But it's just I want to give people really clear,
absolutely,
intelligible messages. And if I'm using tarot cards, sometimes I miss things that are important. I mean, in all fairness, I do get kind of nudges from spirit when I should go ahead and look that card up right now.
Yeah.
But I don't always listen to it. Depends.
Just like fine tuning it. Do you feel like the process in itself?
Yeah, it's just like I've only been doing tarot for a year, so
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
It's almost 80 cards. Like it's just, and I'm full-time job, 2 small kids,
Right.
movie, like
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's start with these. Oh. The first card that came out. Now, just meditate your way to tuning into the frequency of your highest good. Come on. Control the way you feel and reconnect with your source energy.
Wow. Even the color scheme in itself.
You can't make that up.
The first line is just meditate your way to tuning into your highest frequency. That's. Can you send me a picture of that one too?
I'm
Thank
keeping
you.
them all out, and I'll send you a snap.
Oh, thank you.
I learned my lesson. I did my first one of these last night, and I realized I didn't leave the cards out that way, and I wish I had, because then I could have sent that. But I learned from, that's how it works. That's how life works. That's how the craft works. Every craft. Okay. Practice the art of allowing.
Oh my God.
Get in touch with your inner being and activate your own guidance system.
So much affirmation. It's not even like I'm getting slapped in the face.
We don't even need tarot today. This is very clear.
I love it.
The next one says, do something creative and play as often as you can. This will renew your energy. It doesn't matter what your creative stuff is. It doesn't matter if you're good at it. All you have to do is get pleasure from it. And it's of glory, right? Like, sometimes at a church, people might be singing and it does not sound good at all.
Right.
But they are glorifying the Lord, by golly.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to hear it. It's a joyful noise to me.
Absolutely.
I mean, it makes it a little difficult for me to sing on key, but it's a joyful noise, nonetheless.
Praise is praise, no matter what it sounds like.
Says, when you feel lonely, know that you are never alone. We are all connected through the harmony of non-physical energy that's always assisting you.
I love the illustrations on this. They're really calming.
Yeah. I can give you the information to this artist.
I would love to.
They sell crystals.
That would be lovely.
I'll see all the information after this. If anybody, I guess I could put it in the description box, like a link to her store and stuff.
Ooh.
Anyway.
So cool. I love that one.
All right, we're going into this other deck. It's been charging under all these, and I have another one under here too, so don't worry.
I'm so excited.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of stack these a little bit more so I can make myself some room. You need a break or anything? You doing okay?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you.
I want to light another incense stick because that's my business.
Absolutely. I watched a really good video about like meditation tricks this morning about like a scent can really help you to just like focus on the present, just because it's something to focus on. I was like, God, that's such a good like trick. Like, I'm a big fan.
When we're off of this call, remind me to tell you why I like this scent so much. It's professional related, and I just don't want to talk about my professional stuff in
perfect.
It's not like illicit. It's just like Okay. This is the empathic oracle. I know you personally. I know you're an empath. And also it's about connectedness with spirit and work. So that's why I like your spiritual work. So that's why I got these out.
Have we done these before? I was like, I think I remember loving these. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the card that you got.
That was the card. Yeah, that was the one that kind of started everything. Is that at the bottom of the deck?
You saw me shuffle them right now.
Oh.
Also, FYI, this is the same card that came out for the person I read for last night. So maybe, and this is the one. So be looking for ones as synchronicities. Look up the angel meaning of ones, and 1111 and 11s and things like that. And just keep working on, this is the highest affirmation you can see.
Yeah.
Keep working on opening your crown chakra and that third eye and being receptive, so that I tried to use that pipe snake that I used I used it with you the other day.
Yeah.
And I used it with her and it didn't work. She didn't recognize the game. So, but, not every metaphor works, but anyway, just keep allowing the energy to flow into every vein of your body.
Yeah.
That's really great.
It's like the grounding one, it feels like to me, which is so funny that it's
And number 15, clearing. It means clear your energetic space. You could burn some things that like are meant for cleansing, not necessarily white sage, like let's not be appropriation.
Right.
Nation.
Absolutely.
But we can find other cleansing things to burn for inside our home.
Do you have any recommendations?
Well, I burn a lot of incense.
Okay.
And I don't know if that works or not, but it's a placebo.
If it works for you, then I mean...
It smells great, and it's very calming to me, and I love watching smoke, and honestly, I'm just a little bit of pyro.
So into it. I love that.
I was like, let me sneak outside with some passion. Like, I was never an arson, but definitely a pyro.
Like adjacent, maybe? Like...
No, because I was socialized to not be a sociopath. So that worked out great for me, that I didn't become an arsonist. Worked out great for a lot of people, I guess.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
That's the motto for 2020.
These cards that came out, you just said for 2020, and the last card in here is number 27, holiday. When's your birthday?
April 25th.
Oh, okay. So you don't have a birthday coming before Christmas.
No.
But before Christmas, before the end of this year, the cards that just popped out, I believe, are all the messages from this deck until Christmas.
Okay.
Because a lot came out. So.
For real? And I think that's interesting, like, to call back, like, the last reading we did, like, there was a timeline to it. There was a fall to spring, which... And as far as I did really need that. And that was, So
now these messages are for you now you've asked for a focus.
Yeah.
And the focus is this set of things by Christmas. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
The Sacral Chakra, which I'm sure came out last time for you as well. At the same time.
It did.
Number 10, fire.
Huh. I feel like that's connected to the sacral chakra.
Winter, I'm going to put that back over here. Water, and I'm going to look up some of these things for you too.
Okay.
8, water. There's that
8
flow.
is like infinity, correct?
Correct. Here's that flow. Here's that flow. Okay, let me not get these all out of order. Hold on. All right. So you got fire, water. Number 23, the sun. Number 48, pedestal. Number 21, fall. That makes sense. That's where we are now.
Yeah.
Number 42, containers. That came out for you too, didn't it?
It did.
Maybe this, okay. So remember how you needed containers to separate yourself from entanglement? You need that. This is a time to employ your containering abilities. You already know how to do it. Wow, couldn't be more clear. Number 31, the desert.
Huh.
It's just a wandering containered process through winter. Shielding. Self-protection. Number 26, direction, came out again. Number 37 passed. And if you look, this is very kind of ghosty.
Yeah. It almost looks like it's disintegrating kind of as it goes.
Those mature feathers. It's not dying, but it's mature and it's getting rid of those already all the way through the process. Okay, let me soak these in for a minute. So many messages here. So this desert, shielding, and direction cards are all sticking out to me as having this circular shape. So I'm going to read for those first because they just, I don't know. I'm trying to container myself here.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not in a row, you know. We already established that you're getting a lot of messages about the direction of your life. Understanding that each quadrant of you is totally different, but all works together to be the cohesive whole, right? So keep focusing on that. That's where your focus is. You're going to feel as you're going through the desert at this time until holiday, until winter comes, until that moon. You know what I'm saying? You're going to feel that because, well, in our professional lives, we're in a bubble. We don't have direct contact. We don't have the same interactions with human beings available to us as we trudge through this time. There's a lot of shielding, self-shielding, self-protection. And it's tenuous because for the whole world, until we manage through another flu season and see what really happens, we don't know. We all have to, like, the only smart, reasonable thing to do as a human being is to do as much shielding as possible through this whole time period and deal with this isolation. In order to survive to this time. It's not just winter, it's the holiday. We want to get to the Charlie Brown tree.
Right.
Not be alone in the desert in the cold. Okay. Sorry. It's just like, so we already did crown chakra and clearing.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to put those aside too because, oh my God. Root chakra, third eye chakra, manifestation, purity, spring, open heart, surrender,
I think it's really funny that every single, like, because the last time I had a reading, it was really only 3. Like, it really.
I pulled those out too. Those ones. One of them popped up for you, and I pulled the other 2 out. Look, you know that song by James Taylor? I've seen fire and I've seen rain, seen days that I thought would never end. So lonely rose when I could not find a friend. Something to see you again. I've seen fire and I've seen rain, seen days that I thought would never change. Lonely rose. I don't know.
I love it. I'm into it. Yeah.
This is what I'm hearing. I'm like, okay, can we move on to the message?
Yeah, right.
But it says, I've seen lonely days when I could not find a friend.
Yeah.
I have to look up the lyric.
I'm so excited. I'm excited to see how the pedestal fits in too, because that one is like, it stuck out to me because it's the one that I don't understand the most.
Oh no, that's not the right deck. Okay. Come on, Internet. You can do it.
I know, right?
All right. I've seen fire and I've seen rain,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend.
Mm.
I'm going to tell you a message that came through me. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Wow. Okay. Okay, can I just
Yes,
deliver this
always.
song to you? Okay, really?
Yeah.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Next verse. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. You've just got to help me see through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. And I won't make it any other way. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. And it goes on. You should listen to that song because James Taylor's.
What is it called again?
It's called Fire and Rain.
Fire and Rain. Okay. Okay. I'm in.
So
I'm in.
pedestal, thank you for letting me sing that to you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank
It
you.
both came out and those lyrics just feel so relevant.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now I understand why I could hear it. You should listen
Mhm.
to it some more later and focus in. Maybe meditate with it.
Yes.
Feels good inside. How I'm feeling right now, I feel is how you'll feel. And so it feels really good and I like that. So pedestal, something that people need to understand as they go through their ascendant process is that there's a misconception, and this card is talking about it too. It says, when you're lonely, know that you're not alone. There's this misconception that when you rise in your ascension and are perched up here, there's like, one, a feeling of, you can get lost in those ego feelings of being above others and seeing more. Don't do that. Don't put yourself on that type of pedestal as you elevate.
Yeah.
But also realize that there's less people up here. And so you're going to not be as comfortable with people that haven't climbed up to the top of this perch with you. And that's good. That's healthy. That's where boundaries come in. But just understand, it's not that it's lonely, it's solitary. There's like solitude in that space. And it takes effort to seek out and to appreciate and to welcome in people that are safe, that don't pull you off of this. Okay. But also, each moment, every person, each equal in power, is a puzzle piece that has a placement in the tapestry of life. Did we not literally just talk about that?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
That's just like the intro line.
Yeah.
When we place a person or belief system on a pedestal, there becomes a need for them or it to live up to expectations. Because of the empath's intuitive nature, it can quickly become evident that the person on the pedestal is not up to the role. How often have you been in the presence of someone who you have looked up to and soon discovered their knowledge is lacking or practiced a belief that became disappointing because you sensed something was missing in its interpretation? We must always strive to experience each moment, belief, and every person as an equal. The teacher quickly becomes the student when they are open to learning the higher aspects of their craft. The student can become empowered in the realization that without their quest for knowledge, there is no need for the presence of the teacher. Each in an equal role, fulfilling a need, a balance of energy whose only goal is the moment. Have I given my power to a belief that no longer serves my need to grow energetically? Have my relationships become one-sided, unequal in their power dynamic? Have I placed a person on a pedestal in order not to step fully into my own power? Just food for thought.
I got a lot of like thoughts about my like professional living as well, which I think is really like important moving forward at this time.
In the way that your professional life and your spiritual life are entangled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I totally feel that. Okay. This is going to be our last deck. No, actually, just kidding. We're going to send you off with the liminal space. I'm going to move these over. I'm going to add some more.
I love the liminal space ones.
In fact, you said you want, let's put this here. I'm going to charge these babies all the way up.
I love it. I'm so excited.
This one.
Do you want a time check?
I looked.
Okay, no worries. I was like, I know when I'm in the middle of something Zoom related, I'm like, oh, it's been 3 hours? Great. Like,
yeah, no, I'm into it, but I love to watch church.
yes, absolutely.
My church has been providing a virtual service since March.
That's like, so cool. I love that.
And it's really like there's people from all over that are watching it because their churches don't have that capability. Yeah. And so it's really good. It utilizes both like new art pieces that people are making at home as well as like old recorded performances from when we were in the church building, and good sermons, and I don't know, it's a super woke social justice Black Lives Matter church.
Oh, I love that.
Queer people, so like the messages are always about those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like, is there like an interaction aspect to the church part as well? Because I know like when I think about like going to church, like my favorite parts of church was like the social aspect of it, which also you know,
a lot of different programming. There's a lot of different programming at the church, different groups. I'm on a couple of teams. I'm on a praise team. There's like Bible study, but the Bible studies that are about like how to live into our purpose and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like all sorts of different groups and aspects that have been meeting over Zoom now because our church has not returned to in-person worship at all.
Yeah. That's safer that way.
We have older people. I mean, we're a community, and so the people who survived the AIDS epidemic, but AIDS like that, we can't put people like that at risk. Like,
no, absolutely not. Absolutely
you didn't survive AIDS
for this shit. Oh my god!
Die of coronavirus because we were careless about going back to church. Okay, let me get off my soapbox.
Yeah. Hey, I liked that soapbox. I was right underneath you cheering, like. Give me more.
Let me shuffle them again. Can we take a breathing moment? Because I think I think I have excited energy, and this calm down.
Okay.
Healing and magic at the bottoms of the cut deck. Healing is magic, by the way.
Healing is magic. I 100% agree.
Absolutely have to conjure that shit. Okay. Take a deep breath and then give me a number 1 through 3.
2.
No, you're getting all three of them. The number one card, or the number two card that you picked was Silence.
Oh.
Which I'm getting, she's holding the keys, right? Or they, I'm not sure this card person, but they're very feminine creatures on these cards.
Yeah.
She holds the keys to her own mind, thoughts, voice, what she says and doesn't say, what she allows other people to say and not say. Silence is a power tool, not a sentence, you know? Boundaries. Which couldn't be more related to what I just said.
Right, exactly.
I'm not going to explain it further, except for she's drawing this circle around her, or they're drawing their circle around themselves. Looks so stylish. Got this, like the nighttime,
their purple hair. Ugh, love that at the end.
Ombre. Oh, talk about ombre purple hair.
Oh, they're all sisters. They're all siblings. I love it.
This is the challenge card.
Ooh.
But look at this person's face. They're up for the challenge. They got their black tee, their floral print zip up bomber jacket.
Yeah, right. The way that they're holding the chess piece is almost like you would hold like a cigarette adjacent something. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just like smirk on the face, like I'm up to the challenge. I'm ready.
Exactly.
That was fun.
That was so fun. Oh my gosh.
See if anything else comes out of here, and then we're going to go to your final punch gut advice.
That was a rocket out of there.
This is song. Look at this cardinal. New beginnings.
Yeah.
Meditating. Maybe you might be interested in picking up a singing bowl.
Yeah.
Because
I also love that you like sang me a song earlier, and then I'm getting further encouraged. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't know if are you a musician in any way?
I'm not. No,
Have you ever wanted to be?
I've always kind of wanted to sing, but my voice isn't necessarily a beautiful one.
Plenty of people sing without a beautiful voice. They just find their
fair.
Zach says, "Tell that to Steven Tyler."
Zach is so right. Like,
don't tell him. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, the ego.
I'm just kidding. We love that. We love being right around here.
Being right is one of my favorite things to be.
But yeah, this person is meditating, singing. The bird is like checking in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's some beautiful music coming out of there. So if you're into singing, you might have some musical friends in your midst.
I know I do.
That are also bored in the house, and they're in the house bored. Bored in the house. We all have computers.
Oh my gosh, don't we? I'm thinking about getting an iPad
now. I'm just saying, GarageBand.
Oh my goodness. GarageBand. I remember when our family got our first family computer. It was a Mac, and we spent hours on photo booth taking silly pictures, just belly laughing, crying. It was like one of my favorite memories from childhood.
As you go through these changes, just continue to seek guidance in whatever you say fit. Now, this might look sort of like me drawing cards and providing guidance to you. I don't know. Just my interpretation. But it also is encouraging you to seek out what delivers messages clearly to me. This might not deliver messages clearly to someone else, and that's okay, because God is very creative,
right,
and finds many innumerable ways to communicate messages to us. All right, first, you got the guitar pick, so please get into some music.
Okay.
This will bring you good fortune. Maybe not fortune like money, but it will bring you good fortune, as in joy, abundance. Understand that you're super fly. Find the way to sing that makes you feel super fly. I can't make this up. North Mariana Islands, American Memorial Park. Where's American Memorial Park?
Where I don't know anything about
I
Texas.
don't know, we're skipping that quarter.
Yeah.
Nebraska, Chimney Rock. There's like, oh look, okay, so this quarter has a bright sunbeam over people. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but over people traveling by covered wagon across America, right? So remember how people used to travel like to California for the gold rush and stuff? But maybe it could be symbolic of someone else taking a journey under the sun, like with all their belongings in a covered wagon to a new, bright place that would launch us into our own spiritual awakening. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be. And that place is here because look at this football.
Oh my gosh. That very much like makes me think of Cody, because Cody is so sports. I mean,
oh yeah, he married you in a Dodgers uniform, right?
He literally married me in a Dodger uniform.
And then you got some more stars, like keep following your intuition, and here's that coin, that earthy pentacle. So just the career path that you followed to get here led you here for a reason. Okay, your little covered wagon experience was not in vain. No matter what the result is, it was not in vain. Okay, now finally the liminal space, just perfectly in time. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to send you all these pictures later.
Yeah, no worries. Yes, I'm excited for you to go to church. Like.
Zach and I are very involved in our church. He's a bassist at the church. I sing at the church.
I love that.
And I'm on the AV team. So like when I go to church, I'm like helping for stuff. And, from time to time, I used to run the slideshow every other week in the booth.
Yeah. Have you gotten to do any of the AV stuff, like with the distance presentation of church?
And yeah, and
that's awesome.
I do writing for the marketing stuff, and I help make video content. Over the summer, I helped make a whole hour-long variety show.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we're like ultra involved in church. Like,
I love that.
So God is a goddess. Now, this card is about a lot of things.
Yeah.
One of them is understanding that the masculine perception of things only exists if the feminine perspective also exists, because one does not exist without the other. Otherwise, they wouldn't have those names, right? That duality is always present. So from a dogmatic religious background, you probably had a very father God orientation, and that probably was at odds with your own inherent femininity, which is also godlike and created in the image of. So this, yes, is a confirmation that your path into a deeper personal understanding of spirituality outside of the dogmatic faith is the correct path. Because you inherently understand that your femininity is a sign that this duality is true. That they're all a fluid scale that exists only because of each other and not outside of, right? Women, girl power. And then the way home. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. That's our 5-minute alarm. This is your treasure map, is on the way into your heart. Whatever you choose to believe, whatever brings joy and abundance, that's the map. Okay? Let's see if. Magic is immediate. The moment you knew what was right was right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the moment
totally.
You saw the path, the moment you imagined the truth, the moment you came into belief, all other things were true. So even though you can't see necessarily, when you plant a seed, you don't know it's growing until the little stem comes out of the ground. Boop.
Yeah.
Right? So, but that doesn't mean that the magic hasn't already happened. It's begun the growth process by being a seed in the first place. As soon as the seed was in the dirt, the process began. even before that in its creation, and the fact that it
Yeah.
isn't even a seed, right? So just count on it, what you're looking, go into invisibility mode. Go within, hermit up. The hermit card would have come out if we had bought tarot. It says, go within, not in like a, like cut all people out way, but in a deeply observe your internal workings and understand it exactly what it is that you want and need before you introduce other people's effects and influences on what's going on with you. Right? Like, allow yourself to go through this process and feel sturdy and strong in it. And then you can allow other people's energy to test the boundaries of your energy. Right? What we do before these type of spiritual awakenings is get entangled in all sorts of energy that we don't actually want any part of. And then we spend even double that energy trying to get out of it. But really, if we had just gone through invisibility mode and figured out exactly what, there was no way, right? It's amor fati. We can't figure out what our boundaries are until we overstep them in the past. And overstep others and learn lots of things the hard way. But now we're arriving through this journey, through walking with spirit, through listening to our intuition instead, because so many times we make the mistakes and we go, if I had just listened to my gut, I wouldn't be in this mess. But we don't trust our guts because we're inherently taught to not trust ourselves. Because just societally we're gaslit for so many different reasons and brainwashed, but that's a whole nother conversation. Totally. The stronger your intuition, when you're flying invisible and you and your intuition make friends and you come to truly understand what it's telling you and you understand the signs, what are the signals in your physical body that spirit sends you to know one way or the other about things. Once you fine tune that, then you can start seeing the little bloop.
The beginnings, and it's not the end, it's the beginning. It's not the final product. That doesn't exist.
There's that shadow work. There's that isolation. Isolation is both a prison. This came out for her too. Isolation, especially in our career field, right? Isolation is both a prison and the paradise. That's both our safety and our insanity. It's both our this and that, right? But this looks also like a vacation spot, right? It's not necessarily all bad over here. And that's where that shadow work can be done in that isolation, that invisible place. That's where you and your shadow, you and your mirror image can meet and collaborate in order to find the map off of this island. Right? You and your shadow self are going to have to work together through this water and create this map and, go unseen by predators, energy predators, vampires. And then you'll find home through that process because home will be inside of your abundant heart. That was a lot.
I love that. And I think that that's so perfect because I think while it's exactly what I needed, it's not what I wanted. Because what I wanted was the plan. I wanted what I really want is that same dogmatic, tell me what to do, tell me what to think, that I think is very common in a lot of different ways, but at the end of the day, like,
watch this. I'll give you one. Sure. This requires work. This is my manifestations journal.
I love that.
Okay,
I love the prints on it.
I'm going to show you a couple things. Here's the starter page. It's a separate journal than the one I showed you the other day. Okay. Here's what now when you're in manifestation, you don't share it because you don't want to get in the way. The manifestation is in the fuck it. You write it down, forget about it, you let it happen. But a lot of these has happened for me. So I'm going to share.
I would love that.
Health, balance, active voice, which I'm very active voice right now. Tidy living and forgiving all and sewing up my broken heart issues. Right? And a lot of that has happened since I wrote this page.
That's so cool.
So the plan is to decide what you want, like joy. And just this one is I wrote in active voice, I have a beautiful opinion of myself. And then on this
Yeah.
page, I wrote all of the beautiful opinions I have of myself. Because
Mhm.
if I say it out loud and speak it into existence, it will be true that I believe these things. And I wrote a
Yeah.
lot of things that I already believe, and I wrote some things that are harder to believe, but I believe they are true just because I know writing them makes them true.
Yeah.
That's your plan. Figure out what you want and write it all down and watch it happen. Put dates, it'll amaze you what happens.
Thank you so much. I feel very good, just very peaceful, very like
I'm glad.
affirmed. Thank you, affirmations. Like,
You're welcome. I hope you have a wonderful and restful day.
thank you.
I'll
You
talk
as
to you
well.
soon.